I don't care. Michael.
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 Michael. Oh my God! I'm glad I came back in here. I almost forgot about the tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Michael. Today on Michael.
We're cooking tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Today on Michael.
Cool.
Michael.
It'd be great if we had like some singers, you know, when we're like
choir,
right when we're like we're like throwing the shrimp in or something. They're like shrimp.
Shrimp. I have nothing. If I don't have
That's right.
This is for the little ones, and we're making gumbo.
Shit, man. Episode 2. Got through that first one.
Barely. I think this is a good segue, though. You know, getting from the fried chicken to the gumbo, hitting some other parts of the South.
Yeah.
I like gumbo because I've made it a lot, and you know, I lived in New Orleans for a good like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think gumbo is like the quintessential New Orleans dish.
It's crazy because in Southeast Texas, we cook a lot of gumbo too. And, you know, because Southeast Texas is pretty much a lot of the cuisines there. And the way that we approach food it's very similar to how food's approached in Louisiana, because really it's just the Gulf.
Yeah.
In Southeast, that's dividing Southeast Texas from Louisiana. So there's a lot of similarities. But what's interesting in my family is some like the dark roux, and some like the brown roux, and I've seen some light brown roux. And I'm pretty much more of like I'm not like a black roux.
Yeah.
I like a nice, you know, I'd say a good brown, but not a light brown, you know.
Yeah, I think my roux, when it's in the pot, it tends to look black, but once you hit it with the stock, it lightens up a lot. I don't take it as far as most people take it, but once you hit it with onions, and the sugar starts to come out of those onions, and it gets really dark.
You know, one of my biggest pet peeves about gumbo, in not necessarily just Seattle, but in most kitchens that make gumbo outside of the South, is they don't use one quintessential vegetable to it, and that's okra.
Yeah.
And I can't take gumbo seriously without it. Now, it not being a crop that is readily accessible or plentiful in other areas, I can understand why. But if you're gonna do that dish, I feel like it just needs it.
Well, also too, if you like look back, there's 3 cultures that basically brought gumbo to what it is. So you have the Bantu tribe, which is a West African tribe, that came up with the word kin gumbo, which means okra.
Right.
And then
that's my point. So how the hell can you have gumbo
and not have
and
okra?
The origin of the word is okra.
Yeah. And there's 3 levels of it. So you have the Bantu tribe that influenced gumbo with okra. Then you have the Choctaw Indians who made the filet, and then you have the French that made the roux. So those are the 3 different parts to it, which a gumbo is a mixture, because it's a mixture of those
cultures colliding.
Cultures, yeah. You know, people think gumbo's a mix where it is, because New Orleans is like that. In New Orleans history, there have been 7 flags that have flown over New Orleans. You look at it, you look how cooks there would have to cook for, like, at some point they're cooking for Spanish, Spanish monarchy, and at one point they're cooking for French, English, and so you basically like have all these cultures that meld into one dish.
Yeah.
One gumbo.
I love pretty much any kind of gumbo, but I think that most of the gumbos that I make always have some sort of seafood element to it, even if it's just shrimp.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people who just make chicken sausage gumbo, and that's all right, but my family, you know, being from the Gulf area, it's really hard for us to make anything that doesn't have some sort of seafood element to it.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking about a stew or an etouffee or something around those lines. It always comes back to some sort of shellfish, and if not, some shrimp. So, I mean, I think what we're doing today is like right up my alley, because we have sausage, we got oysters, we got shrimp.
Yeah.
We got fresh okra that we got from the market. And so we're gonna be able to put together now. You know what I think is interesting though? Is you told me about a gumbo that has potato salad in it?
Yeah, that is mostly from the people I've known from Lafayette. I remember the first time I had it, because you're always used to having it with rice. And my buddy was like, you gotta try it with the potato salad in there. And I'm like,
fuck.
All right. And I did. I'll always have a little bowl of that, and I'll have rice also. So, yeah.
So, I mean, you do it the same way as rice. You just put a lump of it in the bowl.
Yeah, right in the middle.
But you know what? That's another pet peeve of mine. My favorite way in a restaurant to be served gumbo is with a lump of rice and a moat of gumbo around it.
Yeah.
Because I like to basically break off
piece of rice and eat it.
Scoop it through my bite.
And not have
There's
it be
like
all
a
mixed.
moat around it.
Yeah.
Well, no, at home, if my grandmother or my mother or someone mixes it in, that's cool. But at the restaurant,
you want that.
I want to be able to control my bites.
Yeah. Normally I'll do the gumbo first, and I'll do the rice right on top.
Usually when we cook gumbo, it's not because we have chicken or sausage in the fridge. It's because someone got a bonus check, or someone's coming into town and hasn't been in town for a while, and we go down and get pounds of shellfish, pounds of crab, pounds of, and if you, and typically where I'm from, my family, if you get invited over for some gumbo, it's not chicken and sausage. It's like you're coming over for the real thing.
Yeah.
And if you get invited over and open up the pot and you look at the pot and you just see chicken and sausage, like, damn, I could have made this at home, man. We got chicken and sausage all over this.
You want some nice shrimp in there, some
You want
crab.
some nice shrimp, and you want to see that bowl of oysters on the side that are going to get dropped in right at the end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's how I like it too. Like, we got some oysters now that we're going to crack, and we're going to save that liquor. Throw that in there at the end. Throw those oysters, and it just gives it it's like a briny sea element to it, which I love. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna start
peeling the shrimp.
You start peeling shrimp. I'll start doing the roux, and then we'll start dicing some vegetables, and we'll get the gumbo in. Like the roux, you don't leave it alone. You don't go answer the phone.
No.
You don't answer the door.
No. You make sure you use the restroom before.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, if you get in a situation, it's like, and you got to choose between the restroom or the roux. The roux's got to win.
Yeah.
In that situation.
I agree. The roux trumps it all.
The roux trumps it all because you got one shot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the roux quick. Basic ingredients to roux is oil and butter, right?
Yeah.
Fat
and flour.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Fat, flour.
Yeah.
So any sort of
oil, fat,
lard.
A lot of people use
butter.
Lard. I always used to use duck fat because we had a lot of it and it tasted really good.
You have some?
Chicken fat. No, I'm gonna use oil this time. But
why would you? You said duck fat.
Yeah.
And you don't have any.
I don't have it.
There was no point in.
It's still gonna be good. It's still gonna be good.
All right, let's go do it.
All right.
Yeah, let's just prep. We'll get a bunch of prep stuff. Mm-hmm. Then we could get the fire in a good position. And then we can kind of take a break and come sit back down here and talk about some other things.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to do the roux outside, but I'm just going to cut up a few vegetables right now just to get myself ready for when the roux is ready.
So you're not sure if you're going to do it outside?
I am going to do it outside.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think it'll be nice. Get some of that smoke.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got our Trinity. We got our onions, celery, and peppers. I'll also throw some garlic in there.
If you don't know about the Trinity, you're really not cooking.
Yeah.
Garlic, you said?
Yeah, the garlic.
There you go. I've actually always enjoyed peeling shrimp.
It's fun if they're easy. I've peeled some tough ones.
As in, like, what do you mean?
Like where the skin doesn't want to come off, I think a lot of times when they're like super fresh, like the skin has a hard time coming off, but like when they've been frozen, it's like
easier.
You want to
oven roast some of this okra?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll peel the shrimp,
Okay.
and then I'll work on that okra.
You know, like in New Orleans, or if you make gumbo, you make a lot of it because it's such, you know, it's the process, you know, and you don't want to like.
You don't want to, yeah, you cook more than less.
Yeah. But if you're making a good one, normally the neighbors will stop by too, you know.
So, Mikey, I'm gonna take all these shells and put them in the stock, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this stock has some multiple levels to it.
You never want to waste anything, and that's the beauty of a gumbo, is like, you don't waste it. You don't waste anything you use unless you have to.
Well, that's kind of what gumbo is. It's like people would put stuff in it so they wouldn't waste it.
Right.
You know, it's like the pieces of meat, or they're taking the shells from the shrimp.
It's like a goulash, you know, or any sort of stew. I like my okra a little thick.
Yeah.
Not, you know, you'll see. I like the texture of it.
Yeah. I like that too, because, you know, some people don't like the sliminess of the gumbo, but some people do.
Right.
And I think like those big pieces help like to make it like what it is. You know?
Well, and if you cut them too thin, like you do like thin little pinwheels,
Yeah.
what ends up happening is they reduce faster, which creates like a paste.
Yeah.
You know, because it's okra, obviously.
Even when you're frying okra, you get that just like that moisture that's in there, and I love that, like the crunch on the outside, but it's all soft and like chewy on the inside, you know.
Right. You see the size in which I'm cutting them, like.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I mean, they're just like.
That's basically like fried okra size. That's how we would do it for fried okra.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're starting off with our roux. It's basically equal parts fat and flour.
We got oil in here.
I got oil in here I actually have oil in here that I fried chicken in, but before, so it's got like this like essence of chicken. I actually like to keep my oils around for a little while. I give them multi-uses.
There you go.
Yep.
Let me get it for you.
Okay. I'm gonna grab a little more flour, actually.
It's a team effort. There it is. That's it?
Yep.
Perfect.
How's that roux looking?
Good, baby.
That roux's getting really close.
Yeah.
See, I think gumbo like this tastes so much better because you got all the smoke and everything, and you're not just doing it like in the kitchen. You're doing it outside.
Yeah.
So the roux getting a lot darker. It's getting really close. I'm about to add the onions into it.
Ooh, okay.
We'll do the onions for a minute,
Garlic?
then we're gonna add the garlic. We're basically add the garlic and onions at the same time.
That's it right there.
I think we're ready. I'm gonna put my onions in. See, a little sugar for me.
So we're doing onions, garlic.
Yeah. All right, so I added the garlic. Now we're gonna add the celery and peppers to this. So once all this sweats down, we'll add our stock. Oh yeah, that's looking good. It's all about the process, you know, the building of flavors.
Because like here it looks like a black roux.
Yeah, but then once you add the stock, it's not gonna be.
Yeah.
You know? But look how like deep it's like staring into a black hole.
Yeah.
You know? I love that color. They're just deep. Put the peppers in.
Oh shit. Hey, I'm Seth,
Hey, I'm Mike.
and thanks for watching The Real Ones. We do it for the real people, real culture, real food, cooking in real circumstances, situations that are, I guess, real, right?
Absolutely.
Anything else you have to add to that?
Yeah, just it's all here. Our family, our friends, and the food and the culture. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Perfect. Yeah.